How did you come to the decision to welcome an exchange student into your family?
Well, that was my wife, Susan. She came to the decision and told me.
Okay, so do you know any German word?
Well, I know, like, the Hauptbahnhof, Straßbahn, obviously the Autobahn, just the basic stuff I picked up from MTV.
Okay, last one.
Yeah.
What is your favorite part of having an exchange student?
Someone to talk to.
Hallo, mein Name ist Vanessa. Ich bin 17 Jahre alt und bin jetzt schon seit ungefähr 9 Monaten in den USA in Idaho. Heute mache ich ein kleines Q&A-Fragevideo mit meiner Gastfamilie. Ja, frage ich sie ein bisschen, was sie eigentlich dazu gebracht hat, einen Austauschschüler aufzunehmen. Meine Gastfamilie besteht aus meinem Gastvater, meiner Gastmutter und meinem Gastbruder, der 14 Jahre alt ist. Ich habe mich mit meiner Gastfamilie sehr gut verstanden von Anfang an. Natürlich war es am Anfang etwas seltsam, mit komplett fremden Leuten in einem Haus zu wohnen, aber ich glaube, da gewöhnt man sich auch dran. Und ich habe mich dran gewöhnt und ja, jetzt bin ich schon seit fast 9 Monaten hier. Mehr gibt's eigentlich nicht zu erzählen. Wir haben schon mehrere Ausflüge gemacht, zum Beispiel einmal nach Montana oder einfach kleine Wochenendausflüge an den See oder Sonstiges. Ich werde das Q&A heute mit meinem Gastvater machen und ich würde sagen, ich hole ihn auch gleich mal rein.
Hi, my name is Don Inman and I am Vanessa's host dad. And I work as a mailman, classic mailman. I was in the Army for 15 years. I fixed radios and encryption equipment. My wife, who's not here at the moment, she's at a park walking around chasing ducks. She works in a mailing facility that deals with mail as well. She doesn't work at the post office though. We have 4 dogs, 3 kitties. My son, Tyler, he's upstairs on the computer. He's 14. I was born and raised in Boise, Idaho, and I came back to Idaho to live here.
I'll ask you a few questions and you just have to answer.
Sure thing.
So, have you already had exchange students stay with you?
Yes. Yeah, you're our second exchange student. So our first exchange student, he was from Spain. His name was Pau. He was 17 and he turned 18 just after he got here. He spent his whole year here. He graduated, got his diploma, and went back home and got his diploma from his high school back home. We did similar stuff that you've done since you were here. We went to a park, a national park, different little places around our state. He said it was pretty fun. I'm hoping you had fun.
How did you come to the decision to welcome an exchange student into your family?
Well, that was my wife, Susan. She came to the decision and told me. And I agreed. I figured, try something different. And it's worked out. It's been fun. I've enjoyed it. I've had a blast with, both of you guys so far, Pau and yourself. And, we're looking forward to our 3rd one. You should be here in August, end of August.
Why did you choose me to be with you?
Again, that was Susan. She gets to choose. I mean, I guess I could say no, but she picked like a list of 3 from like just the initial list that she got. And I looked at the 3 of you. I don't even remember the other 2. And I was like, yeah, pick whoever. And she just read everybody's essays because that's our first introduction.
Yeah. And
she liked yours the best for whatever reason. I think she was more set on having a girl this time to sort of, boy, girl, boy. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes on the next one because he's a boy, obviously. And we'll probably just do boy, girl, I think. But yeah, she picked you because of your essay. She just liked how it fit,
The horses. I think it was the horse.
Well, I think she latched onto the horses because it was something she could relate to, even though she doesn't have experience with horses. She likes them, So yeah, it might have been that a little bit.
Is it hard to welcome a stranger into your family and trust them with your belongings?
No, it's not, because you've probably noticed myself, I'm a pretty easy person to get along with. The important belongings, they would get locked away, like the dangerous ones.
Yeah.
But I know that you guys are here. You and your family spend considerable amount of time to get ready to come here and a lot of money as well. So welcoming the students into our house is much easier, knowing that if you do something wrong, you go home, and you have to deal with your parents.
Yeah.
Not us. I mean, so what if you break something or you stole something, that can be replaced, but you got to go home and deal with your parents for literally forever. So I feel as though you're not coming here to like impress us. You're coming here to make your parents happy, and you want the experience of coming over here. So the students won't jeopardize that by doing something wrong or, damaging or stealing or, whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm. I think if I was to steal or break something, I wouldn't have a student wouldn't pay so much money to come here and then,
right. It's just not worth it, because you'd be wasting all that time, effort, and money from you and your parents. It's just not worth it, So I feel as though the students have more important things, and besides the main things that you'd want to steal would be our kitty cats and our corgis. So I don't think you're going to go anywhere with them.
Okay, so do you know any German words or traditions?
I know basic words. I'm terrible at pronunciation, as you have found out over this year. Literally every word I think I know, I have been pronouncing it wrong in my head. I was stationed in Germany for 3 years, but 1 year of that I was in Iraq. So technically I was only in Germany for 2. I got pretty good at traveling around the country, on the trains and buses, and, I could order food. And obviously this was 20 years ago. This was 2002.
Yeah.
Geez, I'm old. But yeah, just the basic stuff I picked up from MTV. I watched a lot of MTV because back then MTV was still kind of cool.
Yeah.
Not lame like it is now. So I picked it up from German MTV, but it had the English words. So I would pick up the German audio. Mm-hmm. Don't ask me to practice any German, because that's not going to happen.
Can you say a word that you're sure?
What word do you think I know?
Well, like hello.
Oh yeah, it's hallo, guten Tag.
Yeah.
Auf Wiedersehen, tschüss, Entschuldigung. I know that. Well, I know the Hauptbahnhof, Straßbahn, obviously the Autobahn.
Yeah.
The one that all Americans laugh at, the Ausfahrt.
What?
Exit.
Oh, Ausfahrt.
Ausfahrt. Yeah, that one. I sound terrible. Terrible pronunciation. But we laugh at that one. You see Americans walking around with the shirt, and it just says,
really?
Oh yeah, we love it. It's a hilarious word to us.
Okay, last one.
Yeah.
What is your favorite part of having an exchange student?
Someone to talk to. Well, someone different to talk to. Mm-hmm. Because you're only 16, 17. Our first exchange student, he was 17, 18. But it's just a different perspective. Because here, you're coming over here to America from, Germany or Spain or, or France or wherever an exchange student will be coming from. And you have different views of how our country is. And then you get here and you see it's either similar to what you think or have seen, or it's completely different. Mm-hmm. A big thing here in America is our political stuff that's been going on the past 10 years or so. The politics has been super crazy in the country. You come here, I don't know what you've seen on that, mm-hmm. Here in the States, because you haven't seen any of that in our house. I like seeing the different perspectives. Mm-hmm. And then also just, the day-to-day talking. Like with Pao, I'd ask him how his classes were going. And then he would tell me about how he's like, oh, I'm in math class and I did that math in 9th grade.
Yeah.
Because our school is, 2 to 4 years behind where you are at your grade. With Pao, he loved it how the kids didn't know where Spain was.
Really?
Well, they thought you could drive to Spain.
Oh.
They thought he was from Mexico.
Yeah.
He had a really good experience, but he had some of those kids, they weren't informed. They thought, like with Pao, they're like, how, because he's, from Spain, so he's generally a white person. Like, how can a white person speak Spanish? Mm-hmm. He's like, well, I'm from Spain. I speak Spanish. And they're like, well, Spain's not a country. Because, you know, they're like, well, Spanish can't be a country, but they didn't know.
Yeah.
And is that their fault? Is that the school's fault or their parents' fault? And he was just like, I don't think they're dumb. They're just misinformed.
Yeah.
And then he would be speaking Spanish. And, you know, here in America, it's a real big thing with like prejudice sometimes. And so some of the other kids were like, well, you shouldn't be speaking Spanish if you're white. You know, that's not how it should be. And he's like, but I'm from Spain. English is his, you know, he's like, English is my second language.
Yeah.
And that got me worried when you got here coming from Germany because of your country's unfortunate past, that you were going to get hounded about that, which is something that has and does happen. Because I did tell you that when you got here, and if it became a problem to let me know, which I don't think it's happened. So.
Well, there's like little stuff, but it's not really like they know the history, but it's not like they're mocking you or anything.
Okay, so it's not an offensive thing.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's all I wanted to know because you know
my history teacher, every time he speaks of Germany, or he just looks at me.
He looks over
like,
if it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's like, and what do you think about that? And I'm like,
Yeah, no, and it's understandable. He's making sure like you're not feeling uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Which is good. And that's the reason why I said if anybody gives you problems, let me know so we can fix it, because that shouldn't be done. With Pao, he was a pretty big guy.
Yeah.
So he's like, there's no problems, you know, and if there is a problem, he could fix it himself. So I was like, well, don't be fighting because we don't need you to get kicked out of the country. But everything turned out pretty good for him. So I think everything turned out pretty good for you. You got a month, 6 weeks left? You're getting your license. 4
weeks.
See, that's pretty cool. Pao couldn't get his license.
I'm really glad that could happen.
Yeah. Yeah, you were cutting it close. I was telling you all year. And you finally...
But I'm doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, second last chance.
Okay, I think that's everything. That was good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, thank you for being here. And having an interview.
We enjoyed it, and we hope you have a great time doing 11th grade over again. Yeah. That still blows my mind.